to be here. So happy too because I have a camera stand. Yes, new tripod, which is really, hello, hi fantasy bots. Hello, yes, I have a camera stand, so I will no longer have to hold my, iPhone like this the whole time. Thank you so much for inviting followers. Thank you so much everyone for being here. I am so super excited to be talking to you about having a positive attitude and the tools that I use to have a positive attitude. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is DeborahAcker. I am an intuitive coach and energy healer. I love working with energy and helping people shift energy. And for those of you who are new to Perry 10K, you can check it out at perry10k.com and also check out their app. You can go and download the app at the App Store, so it's really simple. It's an awesome inspirational app, so I totally recommend it. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for inviting followers, and thank you for all the hearts. So I'm DeborahAcker, and we are going to be talking today about how to have a positive attitude, right? And I will say, like, I've always kind of been that girl, half the cup's half full type of girl. But there's something I really want to talk about that I think will be really helpful in beginning to really rewire your brain towards positivity, right? Rewire your brain towards being happy, towards being positive. And I want to kind of first talk about why we have this negative conditioning, this negative mindset to begin with, right? And so thousands upon thousands of years ago, when, you know, like back in the dark ages, we were conditioned to focus on the negative, right? Because if we didn't focus on, thank you so much for the hearts, thank you so much for inviting followers. So if we didn't focus on the negative, right, we could end up dead at that point, right? So our brain got wired to see all of, yes, Amy did a really great job. Our brain got wired to see all the negative things, right? So we'd like be looking around the corner and we'd focus on the negative. It's like, oh, someone's coming to hunt me. You know, this is going to happen. I could get attacked by a bear. Whatever was coming up, we got really focused on that negative piece, right? And that's how our brain started to get really strongly wired. So I was reading this book. It's called Hardwiring Happiness. It's a really awesome book. It's by Harville Hendrix. Some of you guys, exactly, when stress was useful. So I was reading this book, and he talks about the rewiring of your brain, right? So to start to rewire these experiences that we have towards that we've been so wired to focus on negativity, exactly. Hardwiring Happiness is the name of the book. It's a really awesome book, but I'm going to give you the 4 steps, and you don't even have to read the book, but if you want to, it's got a lot of good, awesome background information. So he talks about this acronym called HEAL. So the acronym HEAL, not the heel on your foot, but the other, the loving, HEAL. And he talks about this as a way to rewire this negative thinking, rewire our brains, right? And so the first part of rewiring our brains is to have an experience, right? It can be positive, it can be negative, but you're having an experience. So one example I'll use is that I was in Australia. This was a little while ago now, but I was in Australia. I was out traveling, and I was on Bondi Beach, right? So here I am having the experience of being on Bondi Beach. Thank you guys all for sharing. Thank you so much for the hearts. Definitely make sure to invite your followers. I so appreciate it. So I'm having this experience on Bondi Beach. Great place to be. So that's a positive experience, right? So the second piece of this is, you know, we're walking down. Anyone that's ever, hi, Nicole from Australia. Have you been to Bondi Beach? And so it's probably, if not my favorite, one of my favorite, definitely one of my favorite beaches in the world. So I'm walking down this beautiful walkway. You can be walking down for miles and miles and miles. It's really gorgeous. So I'm walking down, and so the second piece of it, so it's H is to have the experience. The second piece of it is to enrich the experience, right? So I take time to stop in the moment of being on this beautiful beach, and I start to look at the waves, right? And for me, enriching the experience was imagining myself in the water. It was feeling the sun coming down. It was like this really cool, just like growing this experience tenfold, right? Could I feel the wind in my hair? Could I feel the sun beating down on me? Could I take in like the beauty of where I was? and the beauty of this experience, right? So first piece, have the experience. Second piece was to enrich it, right? So I just grew that experience. I mean, it was already a wonderful, wonderful experience. I just grew it, right? The third piece of this is to absorb it, right? So absorbing it would mean so I just started to really take in, just to really allow it, like the beauty and the yumminess of this moment, I allowed it to really just to hit me, right? Just to like just really just have that moment, right? So I had the experience, I enriched it, and I really allowed it just to take in and just to really, really absorb it. Yes, make sure you guys are following Sandra Longmore. She is coming up after me, so definitely make sure you guys are following her. And so, like, those are the 3 steps, right? And that's something that you can do anytime you're having a positive experience, right? So I use something big like being on a trip, and thank you so much, being on a trip and just, you know, having this wonderful experience. But you can do it when you're eating an orange. So it's like, say for instance, I'm eating an orange. And I can, you know, I peel the orange and I can really start to really get into the texture of the orange and just sort of like enjoy that kind of the peeling back. It's an awesome analogy for peeling back the layers, but just like the peeling back of the orange. And then when I take my first bite of the orange, I can really like savor those juices, and really, I'm craving an orange now as I'm talking about this, but I can really like savor those juices. I can really just take it in and just really get into the flavor of it. And then I can just really absorb it, right? How yummy and delicious this is. So you can do that any single time you're having a positive experience, whether it's something big like being on a trip or it's something small like having an orange, right? So those are definitely something you can do at all time. Thank you so much for inviting your followers. Yes, have the experience, enrich the experience, absorb. So the fourth one is linking a positive to a negative experience, right? So say, for instance, that experience isn't positive, right? Maybe you have a family member in the hospital. This is one example I'll use. You have a family member in the hospital, so you want to link that negative experience to something positive. So what could be positive about having that family member in the hospital? Maybe you get to see other family members. Maybe you get to have time with this person that maybe you wouldn't have had otherwise. Yes, exactly. The power of association, right? So you link that negative experience, which obviously is hard and can be hard and can be challenging. You can link it to some positive things to really start to take them in, right? So you can really start to rewire. And if you do this often enough, I guarantee you it will rewire your brain. Like, you will start to, all of a sudden, you'll be inclined towards that positive, right? You'll be inclined towards even the things that are negative. You'll start to see the good pieces of it, right? So like another example, like in work for negative, is maybe like your boss is wanting you to do this project and it's going to take a lot of time and it's really doesn't really feel good. Yeah, make sure you guys are following Sandra Longmore. She's coming up next. And so, you know, you're like, but what's the positive of it? Maybe you could get a promotion. Maybe you could get a raise. Maybe you get to work with some really cool, some really interesting people. So just making sure, just always taking in that if you choose to see it, there can always be something positive about a situation. So just one more time, there's 1 minute to go. So just one more time to recap, right? It's the acronym HEAL, H-E-A-L, and it's just have the experience, enrich it, absorb it, and if you're in a negative experience, linking positive things to that negative experience so you can start to rewire your experience of the negative. So if someone can let me know when Sandra is up, she is going to be coming up next. If you guys do want to read more about that book, I mean, it's an awesome book. It's called Hardwiring Happiness. It's by Harville Hendricks. And you know, there's just so much good information in there. So, so Sandra's going to set up. And for those of you guys like that are looking for positive things, looking for that inspiration, go ahead and check out that, the Perry 10K app. It's really awesome. There's lots of inspiration on there. Go to perry10k.com. And for those of you guys who are new to me, my name's DeborahAcker. I love everything involved with truth and positivity and just rewiring your brain so that you're in that positive experience. You're having that positive experience. So if someone can just let me know when Sandra's up, that would be awesome. And yeah, I'm going to be doing in a little bit like a dance party today. So follow me and join me. We're going to dance to Footloose. I said we were going to do this last week and I didn't get a chance. So thank you. Deborah's a positive experience. Thank you so much. Awesome. So she's live. Go ahead and follow Sandra Longmore. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until next time, have an awesome, awesome afternoon.